The Tour de Station Ultimate 1000. One ride, 1,000 kilometers long, 26,000 meters of elevation, the equivalent of 3 times up and down Mount Everest.
This is, without doubt, the most painful ride I've ever done.
As you aim to cycle every major pass in Switzerland in a single, stunningly beautiful but ridiculously tough ride.
Well, in the last 28 hours, I've had 45 minutes sleep.
Having never done anything longer than 380 kilometers, about 7 months ago, I decided that this would be a good idea. Can I complete it? Only one way to find out.
This is ridiculous. This is definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm struggling to hold my head up. Feels like my neck muscles have gone. My knees hurt. My lower back hurts. My shoulders and neck hurts. And I'm just for the longest 5 kilometers of my life.
Previously on GCN, you may recall Connor and I taking on the Tour de Station on separate occasions. The standard event, a 250-kilometre route taking on the height of Everest, is absolutely savage on its own. It destroyed both of us, and I had a spectacular bonk on the final climb. However, the organisers have invited us back for more, and have 2 new, even harder events. I've never done anything this hard or this long with this much climbing, but I want to find out what I'm made of. This is the route. Throughout it, there are reboost stations where you can sleep and get support. Support elsewhere on the course is forbidden, so this event is semi-supported. If you want a shorter challenge, there's also the 555-kilometre route, the original Tour de Station, and some shorter Gran Fondo options, all set in the beautiful Valais region of Switzerland. This beautiful bike I'm riding is a Trigon AR, AR standing for all round, which is ideal because I'm riding all around Switzerland as quickly as possible. We've also got these beautiful Reynolds Black Label 46 Pro disc brake wheels. Absolutely superb, the latest top-of-the-range wheels from Reynolds, which are also helping supporters in this event. They weigh just 1397 grams a pair. Now, I've got a full video of the bike and kit setup over on GCN Tech, so be sure to check that out. There's loads of useful information in there about the bike setup and the kit choice for ultra events like this, and I explain the choices I've made.
I'm on the start line. I'm off in about 5 minutes. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. This is by far the longest thing I've ever done. To give some context, the longest ride I've done before was 380 kilometers. This is way more than that. Can I complete it? There's only one way to find out.
Achieve their goal. And now on stage, I call riding for GCN, Oliver Bridgewood. 1, go!
This is it. The first climb, heading up to Champ-des-Lacs. Climb I've done before in Gravel Epic, and well, it's a beautiful little ski resort at the top. It's known as Little Canada. Now, this route is incredible, and I can't wait to show it to you because it goes through some of the most beautiful places on earth in Switzerland. When we get around like Grindelwald and stuff, and the Gotthard Pass, it's unbelievable. One of the things that appealed to me about this event as well as the amazing scenery is the semi-supported nature of it. So ultra endurance events, they're going from strength to strength. they're getting more and more popular. You know, things like the Transcontinental and Race Across America and stuff. But with the Transcontinental, it's a pretty big step because it's completely self-sufficient. Whereas for me, this is, I guess, maybe something of a gateway drug to something like that. On the second climb, the Col de Lane. Now the bottom section of this, oh my days, so steep, pacing plan just went out the window. I mean, I had to do about 250 watts just to get up here. It's that thing, innit, you know, the best laid plan doesn't survive contact with the enemy. So, classic example. The first reboost station's quite a jump. It's 180k, and it's at Idler, where the UCI are based. They ironically don't have any jurisdiction here, so yeah, I'm just gonna ride right past them. But at that reboost station, I'm planning to just take on some supplies, not have a proper stop. My plan, and it's, well, it might change. I'm gonna try and get to, what's it called? Grindelwald, the third reboost station. And I'll have a sleep there, I think. I'll be like 24 hours riding. Nice. So, looking at the clock, we're about an hour from sunset. And then, I'm gonna be riding into the night. And, well, in the mountains. I'm excited. Yeah, never done it before, but it's time for everything, isn't there? It's gonna be good.
How you doing? Yeah, I feel alright. It's gonna be tough hitting it out, but yeah, we'll be alright. Right, crack on.
Good man, well done.
See you in a bit.
Nice one. See you later.
You alright? Yeah.
I'm struggling a bit.
Okay.
My, like, from on that climb after the first reboot,
Yeah.
started to feel my right knee,
Okay.
and since then it's just been like, oh, it's all I can think about. It's just my knee just hurts.
Okay.
So, well, I'm just limping like.
Yeah.
This whole like leg, I've just been limping,
All right.
and like people have just been like really being and coming past me. It's so demoralising.
Okay.
But like, I'm gonna just get to the reboot, next reboost, and just have a rest, get some food, have a proper stop there,
Yeah.
have a little like sleep and stuff,
Yeah.
and then crack on.
Yeah.
But I stopped and like dropped my saddle a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's helping.
Okay.
But yeah, just so you're aware.
You've had 45 minutes, just let you know.
What?
45 minutes.
Sweet.
This is, without doubt, the most painful ride I've ever done.
Parts of me hurt that I didn't know could hurt. My wrists hurt. My knees hurt. My lower back hurts. My shoulders and neck hurts. And I'm just my tummy hurts too. With all the stuff I'm trying to eat. Oh man. This is... Oh, I'm not going to forget this one in a hurry. Oh, this is torture. It's just so much like different pain I'm experiencing. It's like aches like everywhere. Yeah, this is something else, this ride. Oh man.
My plan changed. Rather than sleep in the day and ride through the whole night, I decided to try and push on to the Andermatt Reboost station and sleep there.
I'll see you all in a bit. Catch you later.
Goodbye.
This climb we're on now is the Groats, and it's one of the most beautiful parts of Switzerland. It's absolutely stunning valley. And to the right, up here, when we get to the beautiful ski town of Grindelwald, you can see the Eiger, and the north face of the Eiger on the right up here, imposing itself. The last 28 hours, I've had 45 minutes sleep.
I reached Andermatt and treated myself to some proper sleep, a luxurious 4.5 hours, with an alarm at 3 AM, but not before stuffing as many carbs as possible into my face.
Basically, got into bed. It was come sleep, put an alarm on, and then was blacked out, and then the alarm woke me up. So I definitely would get more sleep if I hadn't set an alarm.
First climb and descent of the day done. Chilly, feeling better today after some actual sleep, and there's an absolutely stunning cloud inversion coming off the climb. It's dawn, so there's a little bit of light, sun's about to come up. Oh, feeling much better. Still feel like I've ridden 500k though. All things relative. Right, let's crack on.
Oh yeah, like, honestly, that sleep, having that 4.5 hours sleep I got, Jesus Christ, that's made so much difference. So we're making good progress. 2 big climbs now, 2 of the biggest climbs in the event. Gotthard and Furka. I've done them before, I know them, they're beautiful, so I feel quite positive about them, but they're monsters. And then it's kind of like long valley road descent sort of thing down to Visp. Visp's the goal, get to Visp, then we'll get another good quality sleep in before we hit the final leg tomorrow.
I'm just hitting the lower slopes of the St. Gothard Pass. This is one of my favourites. It's a stunning pass. And one of the best things about it is it has very little traffic on it, because there are actually two roads up the St. Gothard. The one for cars, which is like a dual carriageway, and then the one we're about to turn off onto, which is the old road. You know you're in Switzerland because everything has order. Even the cobbles are really ordered and patterned like a mosaic. So, French cobbles, no, put them anywhere. We are now halfway up the Furka Pass, the highest, well, the summit is the highest point of the race, at 2,450 metres. It's a monster, this one, but I'm feeling good. The Furka Pass is pretty famous, if you don't know it. It was in the film GoldenEye, so you might have seen Sean Connery and his DB5 on here. Not GoldenEye, Goldfinger, sorry. It's been a long day. And also, it's been used in Grand Tours, and the iconic photo on the Furka Pass on the other side, where there's the empty Hotel Belvedere on the corner. Whew.
At Visp, I set my alarm for just 4 hours sleep. This would give me a wake-up time of 11 p.m, with the aim of completing the final 260 kilometres and 9,000 metres of climbing in one big hit.
I've just woken up. Oh my god. I'm a mess.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. We're 800 kilometres in, and I'm in absolute agony. My back and my neck are killing me. This is making me feel like I never want to ride a bike ever again. I just got to keep going. The sun's about to come up. I feel like it gives me a lift every time. Third time now this has happened on this ride. That's nuts. Whew, right, come on.
Beet fuel. Lots of beet fuel.
Ah, sorry man.
Mega.
I arrived at the final reboost just seconds behind 2 other riders. I'd been gaining on them all day, and now, with just 60 kilometres to go, I decided this had to be a quick stop.
Just left the final rest station. I've got 53 kilometres to go and 3 all category climbs left, and I think I'm up into 6th place overall. I'm struggling to hold my head up. That's why I'm looking down all the time, because like my neck muscles have gone. I'm just wary of the time gap behind. I'd really like to hold on to my top 10 that I've currently got. I know there's riders close behind. I've got nightmares of this climb. When I did the event before, I got to the bottom of this climb and I was in 16th place. And then I lost 10 places on it. The lights went out and I just was getting past, and honestly, it's stuff for nightmares. And I'm just worried I'm gonna do the same. Yeah, it's 400 metres. See it on my Wahoo. They're not behind me, are they? I can't look behind me.
Upon reaching the summit of the Quadecer, I crossed the final timing mat, completing 1,012 kilometres with 26,900 metres of elevation in 71 hours and 54 minutes, and 6th place.
My neck is
All that remained was to descend to Verbier to the neutralised finish.
You did it, buddy. You did it.
That is without doubt the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. That is the hardest thing I've ever done.
I've made it. And there was about, well, several times where I never thought I was actually going to be able to finish this ride. So I'm kind of in a bit of shock, but I kind of lost for words. But yeah, big thanks to the organisers of the Tour de Station, and also to Trigon for a brilliant bike, and Reynolds for the wheels, because well, neither of them skipped a beat. And also, like, if you want to give this video a thumbs up, don't do it for me, do it for the amazing crew that have filmed this, because they've had probably less sleep than I've had, and it wouldn't have been made without them, and they were amazing and they helped me through it. And I wouldn't have got through it were it not for them too. They're the unsung heroes. But yeah, I'm gonna go and have a sleep now for more than like 3 hours. Bye.
The holy grail for cyclists is climbing. To be able to reach a state of balance between effort and calm. For your body to be working hard and for your mind to be in a state of peace. It's not about your power output or your speed. No matter your fitness level or your power to weight ratio, everyone can reach this state. To get there though is another matter. But over the next 2 days, I am hoping to find it. I am on a pilgrimage of climbing. 12,000 meters of elevation gain aboard a $16,000 bike. Crossing the length of the French Alps in just 2 days, the route is a wish list of the world's most famous climbs: the Madeleine, the Telegraph, the Galibier, the Izoard, the Col du Var and the Cime de la Bonnette. No more legendary 480 kilometers of riding could be found anywhere. The event is the Inferno. And so it is that I find myself here in the super cool town of Annecy at the northern end of the French Alps. It has been a hectic few weeks to get here, something that I'm sure will resonate with a lot of you as well. But that doesn't matter now. I have made it. I am here on the start line. All I have to do, all I have to think about is ride my bike, because everything else is taken care of. Which is just as well, actually, because this is going to be a monumental challenge. The idea of the Inferno is for teams of 2 or solo riders like myself to ride unencumbered without bags or kit, and so enjoy the challenge of this epic point-to-point route with complete freedom and in the knowledge that we've got great food and a hotel to look forward to at the end of the day. Now, for an incredible event, it is fitting that I have an incredible bike. A Moots CRD. Our mates from Steamboat Springs, Colorado have delivered yet again. They have been hand-making high-end titanium frames for decades now, and this, their latest road bike, is, I think, their most accomplished yet. Now, CRD stands for Complete Race Design, which gives you an idea of how this bike feels and where its roots lie, but I would argue that it's perhaps more of a grand tourer in the sense of the word that car manufacturers use it. If you're not familiar with it, I took the liberty of looking up the definition. A grand tourer is designed for high speeds and long distances due to a combination of performance and luxury attributes. Yeah, pretty much sums it up. This is my tool for reaching climbing nirvana. And also descending like hell, because what goes up must come down. Now, I need to go get signed on. I think perhaps the most challenging thing about tomorrow, it's not the 250k, it's not the 6,000 meters of climbing, it's the fact that I've got to get out of bed at 3:30 a.m. And that's Euro time, 2:30 UK time. I'm pretty excited at the prospect of what's to come. If you can imagine a better day bike riding, well, I don't know what it is. This is like as good as it gets. I felt really good on the bike. Cruising up in the dark, was able to just concentrate on doing what I was doing. The sun came up, it just went over the top. And then there's this long, gradual drag up to the bottom of the Madeleine. The Madeleine is way more beautiful than I imagined. And while it is definitely an alpine giant, the road is super narrow. We're kind of like hugging the side of this super steep valley. It's brilliant to ride. And also the sun is finally cresting the top of the mountains. Pretty dreamy right now. It's still not even 8 o'clock in the morning. At that time in the morning, there was no one on it. There was not a breath of wind. It was utterly magical. It got to the top completely buzzing, but with this nagging sense in the back of my mind that I'd just done 2.5 hours of really, really hard riding. So you could feel that when something's taking it out of you a little bit, and I knew that I'd dipped into my reserves a little bit, but I thought no dramas, stopped at the feed zone, grabbed some stuff, then had a fantastic descent off the Madeleine. And then onto another really solid, grippy valley road. It was getting hot as well at this point. It's weird having little races with other cyclists that kind of wouldn't normally expect to be riding with. There's this, I don't know, 60-year-old Spanish bloke. He's giving me an absolute kick in at the minute. So fair play to him. I've gone from feeling fast to feeling survivally. Final few hundred metres of the Telegraph now. I don't think I've reached Nirvana yet. Trouble is, I'm pretty hanging and it's getting hot. So I'm having to concentrate really hard just to focus on the process of climbing. So I had a bit of a moment on the Telegraph, but I got up at okay and I sort of reset at the top, got some water, and then the Galibier started okay. It's no wonder it's so infamous, the Tour de France. 18k, 7%, but it's this last bit that's cracking me. A combination of the heat, the altitude, and the fact that I don't think I'd taken enough fuel on board yet that day meant that I was really, really struggling, like properly groveling to the top. But I'd sort of set the top almost as my finish line for the day, because I figured if I got there, then there was only one climb left to do, and I could always do one climb. I hadn't quite come to terms with my ability of climbing when tired. So as well as feeling pretty rough because it was hot and I was hungry and I was tired and I was thirsty, but I was also kind of beating myself up a little bit as well, because it wasn't a race that I was familiar with, in the sense that, you know, I wasn't trying to hold onto wheels, and it's so long you can't do any more than you can do. Last kilometre, the altitude is absolutely murderous. That combined with having blown my doors. Oh. At one point I stopped near the top to get some more water, effectively just to take a break. And I was like, I can't believe I haven't ridden up the Galibier without stopping. Like, you know, it feels like I should be able to ride up the Galibier without stopping. In reality, it doesn't matter. And actually, that was almost a good thing, in that I was then liberated to just take it a little bit easier. But up until that point, it was all about going full gas. And so, yeah, things got pretty dark there. Feels good to get to the top, I tell you what. Not least so I can actually admire the view. It was getting pretty grim up there. I was absolutely ruined. It was all I could do to sit down. I needed food, I needed salt, and I needed a lot of water, and I ended up sitting up there, I think, for about 45 minutes. For a vegetarian, it's got a lot of meat in, but I need it. Quite frankly, I need it. Yeah, riding alpine descents, and because they're so long, it's almost like you get the opportunity to improve as you're going down there. You go through the first corners at the top and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh yeah, no, okay, next one, I'm gonna get my vision right. And then you're like, next one, I'm gonna get my braking better, yeah, tick that off. And then like, I'm gonna like twist my hips as I go through the corner, and I'm gonna really rail the bike. And so by the time you get to the bottom of these descents, it's almost like you've reached kind of descending perfection, because you've just had all this opportunity for really like refining your technique. It's a really lovely climb, the Izoard. The vegetation is completely different from earlier in the day, and I was feeling a lot better than I had done on the Galibier, but even so, by the time you get towards the top, the altitude is just crushing, and so my pace was really slow, painfully slow.
dark times are nearly over. I'm inside the home straight. I think I'm going to be able to do this now. Oh my word. So the clock has been stopped. The racing segment is complete. I've got 10 hours riding time since leaving my hotel. Oh man. I need to have a little stop and sit down again. The game plan tomorrow is to start out at the same pace that I finished today, because then I can finish strongly. I can rock down to the Mediterranean Sea like some kind of cycling god, as opposed to groveling like I have done today. It's going to be a big old day again today. 227k, so slightly shorter, but perhaps one of the biggest climbs, certainly in the Alps, perhaps in Northern Europe, the Cime de la Bonnette. So I thought I was going slowly yesterday. I was not. So today I'm going to get even slower in the hope that I get to the Cime de la Bonnette in good shape. It's going to be completely different from yesterday. So there's a lot to get excited about.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Something about having your sense of vision dulled, so you can't see anything around you. You just end up smelling more and hearing more and listening to your body more. Top of Col de Var, a little bit of a refuel, gilet on, bottles filled up. Got an hour and 30 on the clock now. And I was riding with Severine again. There's a bit of an incentive having someone just ahead or just behind. This road linking up Col de Var with Cime de la Bonnette is utterly amazing. It's fast, it's flowy. It's like I don't have 300 and something kilometers in my legs from the last 24 hours. Just feels wicked. We've been told that the final kilometre is at 17%. So that's going to be nuts. It's just flashed up on my Wahoo. 23k at 6% average. It occurred to me as I hit the bottom of it that I was going to be sat there probably for another 2 and a bit hours. Despite the fatigue, I am reaching that point of balance. I'm going slowly, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's so peaceful up here. You can just sit there tuning into your own breathing, the sound of waterfalls as you pass them, or the river in the valley bottom. It's brilliant. And again, just like the Madeleine the day before, that time in the morning, it was completely quiet. There wasn't a breath of wind. It was just incredible. Absolutely amazing experience. Oh, that's so good. I was so about to stop. Salut. And the feed zone was just before the summit as well. And I stopped there not because I needed to, but just because I wanted to, because it was such an amazing place. And it felt like the fact that there was no wind, no clouds, like there aren't many opportunities to sit on a mountain and eat an amazing sandwich. So that's what I did. This is a 10 out of 10. And that is in spite of it having to be on gluten-free bread, because I'm a celiac. Oh, so good. What a view. They've basically built this extra bit of road, so the col crests at, I think, about 2,700 metres, and then there's this extra bit that goes up to 2.8. I suspect just to get the title of the highest road in Europe. All competitors have been asked to take a selfie to prove that we've made it to the very summit. Right, selfie time. Perfect, right. One of those will do. We are racing after all, aren't we? Standing up there with no wind, just completely still, was what I thought the highlight until I then started the descent. Then the descent off there, I think, is one of my all-time career highlights. Like, that is my favourite ever road descent. It was fast, it was flowy, there were a few hairpins in there. So there were corners that you could go through and think like, can I get through this without my brakes? And because you had a good line of sight, because it was open, invariably there was that little bit more confidence that you weren't going to meet anyone coming the other way. And so it was just fast and adrenaline fueled, and it was absolutely incredible. And it just went on and on and on and on. So I was getting a little bit toasty by the time we hit Col Saint-Martin. And also, again, that valley road really taking it out of me.
Second last classified climb of the Inferno. It's another big one. So it's a lot lower, but still climbing 1,000 meters over 16K.
I hit Saint-Martin, and that extra oxygen, because it was that much lower, meant that I was riding a pretty good tempo up there, I felt, for that point in the race.
I have got some aches and pains. So my hands, just from holding the bars for, what have I done, 18 hours? My lower back as well from all this climbing. Like, I just have to shut them out. It's not enough to stop me doing it. Oh, there we go. Next to the Inferno flag.
So when I got to the summit, again, I had a little sit down at the feed there to take some more water on board. And I had the sense that things were going to get a bit grippy. Fortunately, the descent was mint, straight down, and then we were straight in to the final climb of the day, the Col de Turini.
This climb feels completely different again to everything that's come before. It's one of the absolute beauties of doing a point-to-point ride, I think. Especially a long one where you ride through so many different types of scenery and terrain.
I was just absolutely done by that point. Like, I couldn't ride up it without stopping. I had to keep creating excuses like, fill up with some water, or I'll just stop for a pee, or I'll just stop and tell you about some trees.
See? I saw 9K to go on the sign, and it totally cracked me. Gone through 8K to go. And it is hot. Oh my goodness me, this climb has been an absolute epic. Serves me right for saying it's not a big one. 3K to go. I know I can do that. It's like the equivalent of the biggest climb I've got at home. And I can do that in my sleep. So, just tick it off.
And I knew that the finish line was at the top. That's when the timing ended. And even so, I just couldn't do it until about the last 2K, where I was like, right, okay, I can do this now. And I was able to lift my tempo. Yeah, dare I say, the final 300 meters was an impressive bit of riding. I think I probably went over 10 kilometers an hour up there. And anyway, it felt fantastic. And there was still a big group of people at the top. So I think I finished 5th on the day. And then there were all the Inferno people as well. So it felt like a real nice welcome to get to the top, like a job done.
Pretty much all the climbing is done. Nunu, the chef, is over there with some food. Oh, just the most amazing food. Right. I feel like I've got a new lease of life. 50K to go, all downhill. And apparently it's one of the best descents of all time. If it can top Cime de la Bonnette, I'll be a happy man.
we go. A very personal end to the challenge, on my own, on the beach, but what a sight for sore eyes that is. Genuinely, that has felt like a journey the last couple of days. Right, if you don't mind me, I've got some business to attend to. Stay tuned though, because this was a bike race after all. We'll find out the results. It was a super tough challenge, I'm not going to lie. Without the support of everyone here on the event and all the other competitors, I'm not entirely sure I'd have been able to do that. So, totally awesome to have ticked off all those climbs in 2 epic days. In terms of results, I was 4th overall, which I'll take. That was pretty cool. I was the 3rd man, Séverine Juin, who I was riding with earlier on today. Absolutely annihilated me. It was a pleasure riding with her for a short time before she scampered away up the Cime de la Bonnette. Anyway, huge thanks to Inferno for inviting us out here. Huge thanks to Moots for helping to make it happen and providing me with an absolute dream of a bike. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and get involved in the comment section down below as well. Is this your kind of bucket list event? What else is up there? We want to read about it in the comments.
Flanders, with its rich racing heritage and numerous cobbled climbs, or Bergs as they're known in Flemish, is an absolute must bucket list destination for any cyclist. So naturally, we've come here to see if I can ride all 59 Bergs in a single ride. Can we complete Flanders in a day? Whose idea was this? To make this ride possible, we've teamed up with Light Skin Likes and Flanders Tourism, cyclinginflanders.cc. They've devised this mental challenge, which anyone can have a go at on any day of the year that you like, although you don't have to do it in one single ride, like us. I don't know why we're doing that. You actually have 72 hours to complete the challenge. You click a link on their website which connects to your Strava, and then as you complete each segment of each Berg, it ticks them off. If you do them all within 72 hours, then you can come here to the Centrum Ronde van Vlaanderen, where they will engrave a cobble with your name on it and put it on the Wall of Fame. How cool is that? Cycling in Flanders suggests doing the Flandrien Challenge over 3 or 4 days and have routes that you can download on their website. However, to do it in one ride, our route starts in Gerardsbergen, where we will tackle one of the most infamous Bergs, the Muur, before heading over to the Bergs around Oudenaarde and the likes of the fearsome Koppenberg and Oude Quermont. From there, we will make our way towards Kortrijk and on to Kemmel to include the Bergs from Ghent-Wevelgem and hopefully finish our ride. It's 290 kilometres long with over 4,000 metres of climbing. And if you'd like to have a go at it yourself, well, the Komoot link is in the description. Time to get cracking. It's 6 a.m, about 3 degrees, and we're in Gerardsbergen for the start of this ridiculous challenge. Just over there behind me is actually the Remco Evenepoel fan club. You couldn't make it up. Anyway, we're at the bottom of the Muur, the first of the big Bergs that we're going to take on without any warm-up. Straight in, that's going to hit it, and then, well, that's going to be followed in quick succession by the Bosberg. So let's get going. It's going to be a long day. So I've just started the first official segment, and by doing that, I've started the countdown timer. 72 hours has started now for me to complete all of them. Hopefully it won't take that long, because we don't have that long. I'm hoping for more like 12 hours, but let's get cracking. One down. This is it, climb number 2, the Bosberg. And these two climbs coming in quick succession.
is often a feature of On Loop Het Nieuwsblad and also the Tour of Flanders. Woo! That's it, back along the way we came. This is Berg 3, the Valkenberg. KOM's about 58 seconds. I'm going to be double that. But the sun's starting to come up. What a glorious sunrise. Yes! Oh, I love it when you start in the dark and you get sunrise. It's great. This is what epic adventure rides are all about. Like, you get up in the morning, it's dark, it's a bit grim, but then you get sunrises and views like this. Look at that, it's amazing. Beautiful cloud inversions in the trees. Can't stop for long though, because I'm only 3 bergs in, I've got 56 to go. Got to, I'm never gonna get it done. Every time you reach a berg, cycling in Flanders has marked it out on the road, and there's a corresponding Strava segment. I've got them all on my Wahoo. It's quite funny because it's useful for navigation and knowing where you're at, but I'm about double the time on each of these bergs compared to what the pros do. But this isn't a race. If I was to race up them as hard as I could go, I mean, I probably wouldn't finish. It's a real endurance task, so I'm pacing myself. Is it my first rodeo? About 65 kilometres in at this point, done about 12 bergs, although I've lost count. And at the moment, I'm feeling all right, but I do need to press on, and there's a lot more bergs to go. So when you're doing a ride as long as this in terrain as challenging as this, and having to contend with a northern European climate which doesn't always behave itself, the bike and kit you use is incredibly important. And you might have noticed that I've got a rather intriguing front light on, and that's the front light that we've been provided by Lightskin. It's called the Naka Road, and well, its intriguing shape is because it's aero. And you guys know how much I love aero. Just by saving a watt or two here or there over the course of a 289 kilometre ride. I'll take whatever I can get. The route has just taken us through Oudenaarde and past the Centrum Ronde van Vlaanderen. So there's a cafe here. I'm going to get myself some local delicacies. Have a quick pit stop. Look at this, Eddie Merckx's old team car. It's well cool. Right. So for my pit stop, I've got a hot chocolate with this chocolate lollipop and this local delicacy, Ristat. The best way to describe it, if you've not had one, and you absolutely should, is it's kind of like a sort of pastry case with a sort of rice pudding centre. Kind of a bit like a custard tart, but rice. Anyway, they're great. This challenge is as much an eating challenge as it is a riding one. We've got plenty of beta fuel, get all the carbs in. The cobbles are coming thick and fast now. This had like 4 sectors almost back to back. Oh, God, this is tough. It really takes it out of you in ways that just other roads don't. And I'm not even halfway. Oh.
The Bergs were coming thick and fast. I was constantly ticking off iconic climbs, many of which I'd only ever seen before on TV. Approaching, though, was one that scared me. One of the big ones. Perhaps the most fearsome and infamous berg of all. The Koppenberg.
This is it, the Koppenberg, the segment says go. Oh man, this climb is often a pivotal moment in the Tour of Flanders, and when the Tour of Flanders is on, it's just lined with screaming fanatical Belgian and Flandrian fans. Not today, it's just me. But that's kind of one of the coolest things about cycling and why you'd come here and do this mad challenge, is because, you know, you can't go and as easily go and play a game in Madison Square Garden or have a game of football in Wembley or whatever your sport is that you like, but you can come here and ride these bergs. Although I am questioning that particular life choice at the moment. This is savage. Whew. This is this one. This is the Tyenberg, and there's a picture of Tom Bonen there, also known as the Bonenberg. The Tyenberg actually translates as just, well, tough hill, but it's also known as the Bonenberg because it's where Tom Bonen launched many of his race-winning moves in E3 Harlebeck. And, well, one time he dropped his chain on this climb as well, but hopefully that doesn't happen to me. But, oh, it's like 15% and like cobbles and horrible. Oh, it's tough. It's only 530 metres though. Come on. Yeah, it's the top hill, yeah. So the KOM on this climb is 55 seconds, and it's taken me more than double that. 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Bloody hell. Ugh. Humbling. Can really feel it in my legs now. We've got about 100 kilometres to go, but we've had a load of really steep bergs in quick succession, and the cobbles just take it out of you. Oh, it's hard. This is the Oude Quermont now, one of the final bergs in this area before we head over to the Ghent-Wevelgem sort of region towards Kortrijk. About 90k to go on this ride. Broken the back, but this is gonna sting. Hopefully about 2.5 hours left riding. Oh, done well over 200k. It's gonna be about 295k ride, I think. Oh, feeling it. But, home stretch.
Having completed 50 bergs, it was time to cross through the city of Kortrijk and head west on an incredible bike path along the River Leia. This would take us towards the bergs of Ghent-Wevelgem so we could tick off the remaining 9.
Last 50k. Come on, let's have it. Just coming into the last 30 kilometres of this ride now. I'm absolutely cream crackered, but I know I'm going to get it done. This has been amazing. All I can think about right now is waffles and beer and pannenkoeken and all the other great Belgian treats. This is it. I've arrived at the final berg, the Zandberg. Whew. Right, gonna smash it out, and then I'm gonna head to the Flanders Centre and get my prize, my engraved cobble, to show that I've completed Flanders. Yeah, let's do it. What a ride that was. I've synced it up onto my phone, connected the Flandrien challenge on Strava, and I've completed all 59 segments. So I'm here at the Ronde van Vlaanderen Centre to get my my cobble with my name engraved on it so I can put it on the Wall of Fame. And to give you an idea of like, oh, that ride, right? I just had a look at the stats. 7,250 calories I burnt yesterday. Like, it was a big day out. And if you're interested, it was 11.5 hours moving time and 13 hours total. So yeah, big day, but what an amazing experience. Let's go get that cobble.
I've got my engraved mini cobble, so all that remains now is to stick it on the wall of fame. And at the moment, only around 720 people have completed the challenge, and only a small handful of those have done it in one day, like we did. So, where shall I stick it? Have a look. Here we go. Go here, right in the middle. So there you have it, the Flandrien challenge, Flanders completed. And what an amazing ride that is. And as mentioned, this is something that anyone can do. It doesn't cost you anything. You can come here, do the challenge, and if you complete the segments, then you can go and get a cobble engraved like I did, which is fantastic. And although we did it in one ride, I'd probably recommend that you do it in sort of 3 or 4 days over several rides, which is what Cycling in Flanders recommends on their Flandrien Challenge website. And they have routes that you can do and take part in yourself if you fancy it. So if you've enjoyed this video and would like to give the challenge a go yourself, then give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already for more content and more videos of this nature. And I'm going to go now. Ik zie je dag. That means I love you, bye in Flemish. While on a training camp in 2019, Team Ineos Grenadiers, including Geraint Thomas, Cameron Worth and Dylan van Baarle, decided to ride an entire lap of Mallorca, 312 kilometres, just for fun. And they did it in 8.5 hours, averaging 36 kilometres per hour. That distance and pace is mind-blowing.
Ollie and I want to see if, with the help of modern kits and careful planning, how we would compare. How close could we get? Could we perhaps go even faster? Well, it's time to find out. This is going to be tough. Oh, I'm really
I'm scared to do a fart, just in case it's a poo.
This route is tough. Starting and finishing in Alcudia, it's 312 kilometres long with nearly 4,000 metres of climbing. It's a beautiful route that takes in the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Tramontana Mountains and many stunning coastal roads. Many of these roads are cycling bucket list material. Now, we will be uploading our rides to Strava, so if you fancy riding the route, which is also the OG 312 route, then you can actually download the GPX from our Strava activities, try it yourself, and see how you compare to both us and Ineos. This route is stunning any time of the year. Ineos managed it in 8 hours 37 minutes. Moving time, their total time though, was 9 hours 18, so they averaged just under 36k an hour, and it appears they stopped for sandwiches just after Palma.
It also appears they were just on a Zone 2 endurance training ride. But the question is, if we ride absolutely full gas, can we beat the Ineos Grenadiers?
Yeah, can us two chumps, going flat out, beat the world's best riding Zone 2?
It's kind of humbling, actually.
Yeah, and if we don't stop for sandwiches as well, then I think we've got a chance.
It felt like a good idea yesterday, and I'm incredibly apprehensive.
Well, let's get cracking.
Wish us luck.
Energy. Take some of my energy. Energy.
Yeah!
Let's go.
Right, we can do it, come on.
Just coming past Port Pollença now. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's going to be a tough day, and we're going to need every bit of help we can get if we're going to do it. Fortunately, we've got Abus on board, who've kindly agreed to help make the video possible and sort us out with their Game Changer 2 helmets. You may recognise these as being worn by the likes of Movistar, Alpecin-Deceuninck and world champion Mathieu van der Poel. And well, this is a size medium, it's 265 grams. But these aero helmets are going to give us an advantage today. We've tested them in the wind tunnel. More on that later in the vid. Because now, well, we've got to crack on a bit.
He's got a bloody puncture, isn't he? Wow, good job we're prepared with spares.
The best thing is I put my stuff in the van.
The tube is in my rucksack.
Yeah, mine too.
I didn't.
Ineos probably had a team car with them with a spare wheel.
Oh, nice from GCN.
We're stuck here like a pair of lemons.
We desperately need an inner tube. Oh,
yeah,
that's the ticket.
Might have to get a tube.
Oh, good quick picture, boys.
Hey, we're all in.
Have a good ride.
Enjoy your ride.
Probably faster about the middle.
Best thing about it is Mallorca, it's hugely popular with cyclists. Like actually saved our day, saved our bacon, quite literally. So we're about a kilometre into our first climb of the day, the Col de Femenia. It's about 7 kilometres long, with an average gradient of close to 5.4%.
5.7.
5.7, it's steeper than I said.
Yeah, but it's still a fast climb. Now Ineos, according to Strava, averaged 18k an hour when they did this on their ride. We're currently doing about that, a bit less, but it does speed up this climb towards the top. So we feel like we're on track. Just hitting the top of that first climb. We managed to go about the same speed as Ineos, but I think they were taking it a lot easier than us, mate. So nutrition is going to be super important on this ride. Now, when Ineos did it, it looked like they mostly did it in zone 2, but we're definitely riding quite a bit above that.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to fuel.
We're going to rip through calories, aren't we?
Yeah, so the basic strategy is for us to try and get in about 120 grams of beta fuel every hour.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
For people that aren't used to consuming that amount of food and energy on the bike, it's something you need to build into your training. What also helps is the type of food that you're eating. Products like that are developed to try and be easy on your stomach and easily absorbed.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's another little trick up our sleeve that'll help us out.
We need everything we can get. So as you'd expect, we're using all the tech marginal gains we can, you know, wax chains all round. But in terms of the difference an aero helmet like the Game Changer 2 can make to you on a ride like this, well, when we've looked at aero helmets in the tunnel, it's going to vary depending on the helmet that you're switching to and from, and also you as well, because aerodynamics is always system dependent. That being said, we feel confident in saying that you typically observe a sort of range in CDA reduction between 0.005 and 0.01 CDA.
Well, I tell you what, for those of you that don't speak nerd, like Ollie, that equates to a difference of between around 3 to 6 minutes over the duration of the long ride that we're doing today. So if it comes down to the wire, it could be all that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Quick little update on progress now. So we have 234 kilometres to go. And we're actually on this beautiful coastal path on the north of the island, just past Dea, where the roads are much quieter. We've got a 6 kilometre climb ahead of us. I think we're doing all right. Ollie, you good?
Yeah,
beautiful.
All good. This is one of the best roads in the world, I'd say. It's fantastic. So we're currently averaging 29.1 kilometres per hour, which is a lot slower than the total average time we're aiming for, but this route is front loaded with lots of mountains. And so Ineos, in the first 140k, averaged 29.4. So that's kind of the ballpark we're aiming at.
I'm just wondering why you seem to be on a different bike.
Marginal gains to the max, mate. It's what the pros would do. We've done most of the climbing now, so I've gone for a bike change, like what the pros do. Work for Primos.
Where's my other bike?
Si lent me his aero bike and some 858s.
Of course.
For the flat section.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it?
Right on.
We've got 100 miles still to go, 162k.
$175k in. We're really struggling now. It was really slow going past Palmer, quite a bit of traffic. And now we just got savage headwind. It's really like killing our average speed.
It's hampering progress.
Yeah.
I'm going for a bit of a bad patch.
It's over 30 degrees. It's hard. This section of the ride is getting faster now. Really flat, nice roads. And the choice to go to the aero bike is what I'm glad I've done. We're 100k to go, mate. Average speed is creeping up. But
yeah, but my ability and energy is falling rapidly.
Is it?
I mean, oh man, I'm struggling, so I'm hanging in there.
Hang in, buddy. Not long.
Oh man, you're motoring along. I love it.
Just think of that pudding trolley at the Zafiro Palace Hotel. That endless pudding trolley. The more you eat, the more they just replace and bring back out onto the buffet pudding trolley.
It feels like
bottomless pudding trolley. Just think of that. Your favourite thing.
It feels so far away. In some random villagey town. I've been suffering for the last hour and a half now. I don't want to put a downer on it. It feels like the wheels are coming off of our bus. I can't pretend I am bloody struggling.
We've got 80k to go. Right now, the thing that I'm finding the hardest is the heat. It's like 30 degrees today, and we're just drinking water constantly, but oh man,
Have you seen the state of my shorts? They're actually salt.
Yeah, very salty. And your top.
Do you know what? I am somewhat regretting our decision to do this now.
Yeah, I am, yeah. To be fair, yeah.
Honestly, Ollie, yeah. Go without me. It's fine.
I just can't be doing with like fast time now. We just need to get it done, and like, even if I just set off slow, I just need to keep moving.
Well, these guys look like the sort of people I want to be riding with right now. Baskets.
They're doing it right, aren't they? We're idiots.
I mean, if we stand any hope of beating Ineos, we've got 40 minutes left. I don't think I've got it in me. We have, oh, it breaks my heart saying it, 58k. Come on. Alex, you
It's one of those things, like when you do something this long, you don't know what's going to happen. You're going into the unknown.
Yeah, mate, I'm there. I think I'm just dead. 8 hours 40. That was our time goal. That's an anticlimax, isn't it? Oh, I've got nothing left, mate.
I know about health.
I'm going to stop for a minute.
Yeah, that would be best, Alex. What do you need?
A lot of so bad. I'm really pissed off. Dude, look at that state of me. Gotta just get moving again. What's so fun is I'm the exact person that would be like, oh, come on, crack on.
Yeah. So have a word with yourself, right?
Yeah, right, I'm gonna move.
We're on the home stretch, about 16 kilometres left. And I think it's fair to say that Alex is currently experiencing the biggest bonk of his life.
It's not there, we're the best of them.
Mate, you've got this. That is a truly impressive amount of salt that's all over your, just all over you, basically. But yeah, we got it, man. This is home straight. We've got it. I feel like I've needed a poo for the last 5 hours. And it's got to the point where I'm scared to actually have a fart in case it's a poo.
I don't know the strength for that.
It's getting cooler. Temperature's more comfortable now.
The cramps in my hand. My ears are like echoing.
So I'd sit down and wait in the shade. Finish is just down there. Do you want to just roll down a bit and then we'll come to a stop? Yeah? Get it done? It's like literally in sight.
Come on, thank you.
I feel so bad, he's in such a bad way.
Thanks, mate.
You're all right.
Good riding. Where?
Just here by Burger King. Did it!
Well done, mate. Give me a high five.
Crossing our imaginary finish line, we managed to complete the ride in 10 hours, 1 minute and 24 seconds, with an average speed of 31.1 kilometres per hour. Although slower than Ineos overall, we did go slightly faster than them over the first 140k in the mountains. Oh, and Alex, well, he was 6 kilograms lighter.
Well done. I think, mate, you've absolutely smashed it.
It's all right.
I am
I mean, that's a rival for, like, one of Connor's bonks, that is.
Yeah, I'm so bad. My ears have gone funny and they're echoing.
We'll get back to the hotel. The pudding trolley awaits.
We didn't beat the time.
No, we didn't, but I think this is a perfect opportunity to pull out my big book of cycling excuses. So 1, we got a puncture. 2, we had a headwind. It was warmer. When they did it, it was in like a colder time of the year, so it wasn't 30 degrees. So we had that.
You also had to wait for me.
They had a full team. It was just me and you. And they're quite a bit better than us. I think we can be proud. But, well, if you like, well, if you think we've done a good job today, then you're impressed with Alex's bonk. I mean, just for your salt stains, they should give the video a thumbs up.
I think I'm just hugely dehydrated from this salt.
Yeah.
And, yeah, let me know, show your respect for my efforts. And I think it's fair to say, Helmet's travelled a lap of the island now.
Yeah. Big thanks to Avis for making this video happen. And we'll see you in the next one. Share it with your friends, if you've got any. I don't think I've got any left now.
If either of us fail, we all fail.
Everything I feel right now is pain and wanting to go to bed.
I was just in such a dark place when I got off the bike, and I'm sure I'll be in the dark place again in a few hours.
When you've got no idea what's going on, carry on.
You can feel it in the legs now, and I've got 20 hours to go.
Land's End and John O'Groats are Great Britain's geographical extremes, southwest and northeast. To travel between them from end to end is 1,348 kilometres. It's a classic long-distance cycling route and a rite of passage for many. A good rider could take 8 to 10 days to cover the distance, but we're going to try and do it in just 2. Or that's the aim, anyway. Mark Beaumont and I have set ourselves the challenge of being the fastest ever two-person relay. Is 1,400 kilometres in less than 40 hours within reach? With Mark's history of ultra-endurance and my background as a pro cyclist, we're hoping we stand a fair chance. But it's going to prove to be one of our toughest challenges yet. The plan we have is a simple one, riding 1 hour on and 1 hour off, from start to finish. It's a tried and tested tactic, but one that will push our minds and bodies to breaking point. Fatigue, sleep deprivation, and a relentless schedule that offers little room for mistakes or moments of weakness. We have help though. Argon 18 have supplied us with 2 bikes each. An E118 time trial bike for the pure speed, and a Krypton Superlight endurance road bike for the hills. And we also have quite the team behind us.
So we've driven to the edge of the world. Well, it definitely feels like the edge of the world. We're at the most southern end of the United Kingdom at Land's End. First time I've ever been here before, and it's the start line to our epic challenge, and one I'm actually pretty nervous for. The good thing is though, is that I'm not starting first. So I've got an hour just to see how Mark settles in, see what the pace is like, and before I get my skin suit on and do my first section. The good thing is though, is that the sun is shining, there's blue sky out, but even better than that is that the wind is coming from a southerly point. So that basically means that we've got a tailwind for the first section, or it'll be on our right hand shoulder. I'm jumping into the unknown here. I kind of don't know what's going to happen. So I'm pretty nervous, but it's going to be expected, isn't it?
I'm pretty nervous because of the last year's mayhem and lockdown and travel. It's a while since I've been on the start line of anything this major. You know, throughout my career, I'm used to doing something, you know, at least every year, every 6 months, which scares me. And I've not had that fix for the last year. So it's strange to be back in a position where I'm excited, but I'm nervous about what lies ahead. And it reminds me that I've missed this. I mean, this nervousness, the butterflies, is a perfectly normal thing to feel at the start of something so massive. It means I'm ready, and you know, definitely in the right headspace for it. I'm kicking off, I'm starting, and we've got an hour to go.
Mike has recruited some of his own performance team from his 80-day round-the-world record to give us every chance of completing this epic challenge. First off, we have Mike Griffiths, a man with a military background and a stickler for details. Mike is the team leader and will be in the follow vehicle, keeping us up to date with the route, timings, and supporting us on our hour-long stints. We then have Laura Penhall, our performance manager, a vital member of the team. She'll be looking after our nutrition, our bodies, and helping us mentally to push past our limits. She'll be in the second support vehicle that will travel in the hours we are off the bike and jump ahead, ready for our next stint. Now, every challenge that I take on needs a mechanic, and Alex Glasgow is the perfect man for that job. He'll be sorting out any issues we have on the road. We then have Ian, our second support team driver, Bridgie the chef, and Dave, our paramedic, that hopefully we won't need. Fingers crossed.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this.
It's now time to get my head down and start covering some ground. Our coach Pav Bryan and the performance team have set a target of 19 miles an hour for the entire route, but it's not necessarily that simple through the hills of Cornwall.
"33 kilometres had been covered, and the time had come for my first stint. There is no looking back now, so here goes."
33 kilometres for the first hour, so I was hoping anything north of 32 would be good. It's pretty hilly, a few towns to get through, but average 239 watts, so I was trying to set on 240. So yeah, I mean obviously I'm fresh, but bang on the numbers for first hour.
Before I knew it, my hour was up, and Mark set off on his second stint.
It's so much fun because it's on such fast roads and we got a tailwind, so I'm finding myself sitting like 70 k an hour. I was like, what the? It's God, I love like getting back into like a challenge though. It's like just gets exciting getting on the road and having a team around you. But I mean, for that segment, I average 42 k an hour, which is quite quick. And my max was 73.
I was just saying, it's crazy how long it feels when you're on the bike, and then when you stop and you get in the car, it just literally gets like that. Before you know it, you're thinking about getting on the bike again.
Our pace was way up. The fast roads and the wind in our back was giving us a helping hand, but how long would it last? We all know Hank loves speed, and sometimes he can get carried away, sitting at a tempo that isn't sustainable when we were looking at a 48-hour effort. The team was getting slightly worried Hank was going to burn out.
You alright?
Yeah, I was alongside him chatting with him. Yeah, he just want to try to match apples and pears, but you know, he's going a little bit quicker, but he will do. You know what it's like.
But just tell him to ride his own ride.
I know, that's what we're all saying the same thing.
I'm not trying to keep track with him.
No, and you shouldn't. No, it's fine.
So it's coming up to 4 o'clock, and we left Land's End bang on midday, and we're already in Devon. So these big rollers, they're fine at the moment because legs are fresh, but I'm just trying not to burn too many matches because it'll be tomorrow, this time tomorrow, and you know, heading for 48 hours that'll really hurt. It's strange because I'm not going to get to see Hank on this whole ride except for the odd cheer at the roadside, so yeah, it kind of feels like quite a solo effort, although I'm relying on him to make his hours count and vice versa. So if either of us fail, we all fail. But out on the road, you know, it still does feel like a proper time trial.
Do you know what? feel it in the legs now. Especially on them climbs. You're like, and I've got 20 hours to go.
As the lights started to fade, we decided to jump on our endurance road bikes, complete with lupine lights. If you want a full rundown of our equipment, you can watch a video over on GCN Tech.
The miles were ticking down, but our first big test was still ahead. The night shift. I normally love night riding, when you're alone on the roads and it's just you and the bike. But this is something different. Can we keep the tempo that we set during the day through the night?
Yeah, came through Worcester there, and a bit of stop-start again, but yeah, feeling okay. That's 12 hours in, so to stay on schedule, that would be us quarter of the way through. But I think in terms of distance, we're over quarter of the way, so long way to go. But I've no idea how Hank's doing. It's so weird just doing these handovers, and he looks strong, but I'm gonna try and get some sleep now. I guess I don't want to sleep for more than 20 minutes, half an hour, because then you go into a super deep sleep and then it's hard to get going again. But yeah, back on the bike in an hour's time. Sleep, food, repeat.
Everything was going pretty smoothly until I came out of Worcester and was met by an unforeseen roadblock. The team quickly found a detour, but precious time was lost and extra kilometres were added to the route. Yeah, a massive hammer blow to fragile morale in the middle of the night.
God, tell you what though, I hate waking up. But like when I'm out, I just like suddenly feel good again. So it takes me like half an hour to get into it. We're on a roll. Oh, here we go again.
How's that, Mark? Yeah, it was a good shift. 2 o'clock in the morning, and man, it hurts. It's the neck. But made it through Stafford, and we're piling it up England. Yeah, this is the graveyard shift, and this is only night 1. So I'm trying not to think too far ahead, because yeah, clearly we need to do this all again tomorrow night.
I've just lost count how many hours I've done now.
Were you good? 6, 7, 8?
8 hours. Nice.
So we've been going
And they will, he wants to
nearly 24 hours.
So they'll pass him, yeah.
So I've done what, 10 or 11 hours on the bike at 40k an hour.
No, and I said then
and we've done the hard bit, we're just getting through that first night, and now we're just cracking on. But it's weird to think we're like
And then the other thing I
solid way up the country now.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Heading for 24 hours in, and I don't care how conditioned you are, the backside does start to hurt. I changed from my skin suit into bib shorts in the middle of the night just for some fresh kit, and away from prying eyes and cameras, I'm going to get some more chamois butter on.
The night shift was over, but I was faced by another challenge. Some of the biggest climbs on the route lie ahead, and in my 11th hour, it featured the Shap climb. It's a climb that averages 3% with a max gradient of 8%, but it's not the steepness that stings the legs, it's the length. At 14 kilometers long, winding its way out of Kendal with an altitude of 420 meters, it's a tough one. This is definitely where the lightweight road bike comes into its own.
Might be quite a fast transition, this one. Just waiting for Hank to come over the hill, and the wind is picking up beautifully. It was forecast to, and by the time we get up past Edinburgh today, it's meant to be 20-25 miles an hour. I hope it is. That would be extraordinary. The wind always dies down during the night, so you're kind of left to your own devices. But halfway through the morning now, and yeah, that's perfectly with us.
Yeah, that was a big one, to be fair.
Sorry, Jim.
Average went down to 27.
Every time we change over, it's a race for the support car 2 to jump ahead, ready for the next transfer. But sometimes traffic makes it really difficult, especially through the built-up areas like Carlisle. We were held up by traffic and lost sight of Mark for a good while. But Mark being Mark, he knuckled down and kept going.
I didn't know what was going on there. I was just, my radio was down, so I couldn't speak to the follow vehicle, and there was no Hank. But got 51 kilometers in there, so that was a big stint. Got through Carlisle,
And yeah, when you've got no idea what's going on, carry on.
With Carlisle behind us and 774 kilometres ridden, we were over half distance and on schedule. But I was starting to feel the bite. The lack of sleep, lack of recovery and lack of energy was really starting to show. "23 hours in and we had crossed into Mark's homeland of Scotland. A milestone undoubtedly, but we still had 563 kilometres of brutal terrain to go.
Whilst it was 25 degrees in Cornwall, in true Scottish fashion, I was welcomed home with gusty winds and rain.
Right. I was so excited when I got to Scotland for obvious reasons. And it started raining. So unlike it.
It's good, huh?
The tailwind is very nice. Very, very nice. And soon we'll be on the A9. Love the A9. It's not the best cycling road in the world, let's face it, but it is fast, and the pegs are sore, the backside's sore, the neck is very sore, but we are ahead of schedule, and yeah, it's exciting.
Just been going non-stop since 12 yesterday.
Basically, everything I feel right now is pain and wanting to go to bed. But I know that's not going to happen for another 200 miles. Fantastic.
Well, this is the
Aviemore and then Inverness. It's a necessary evil, I'm afraid. It's not a delightful cycling road, it's a big dual carriageway for most of it. But going into the evening, hopefully it'll quieten down. I've driven this road hundreds of times, but it's not until you cycle it you realise it's actually quite hilly.
What's happening now is potentially your body's rhythms are all a little bit out of whack.
Yeah.
And you can tell because you go into like goose pimples and you're getting really cold when actually your skin's quite warm and all of that sort of stuff. So
basically my body's going into overdrive.
Your body's just not quite sure what the hell's going on. It hasn't slept. You keep asking it to do exercise. So it's going up and down. The key thing is just keeping consistency with some fueling even when you don't want to.
Okay.
But we just need to keep drip feeding it in. Bergs is going to go and get some of that sweet potato stuff, so it's a bit softer. But we need to keep those carbs coming in. Because the thing is, you get into the cycle where you then start to feel sick because actually you haven't got enough fuel in the tank. But you don't want to eat anything, and it's like, meh, it starts to spiral.
It's always apprehensive getting, waiting for Mark to come around the corner, and then it's my turn to just put in a shift. My shift is meant to be a really hilly one now, so I'm going to settle into a nice rhythm, not bust a gut, keep them wheels turning. That's my plan.
That was a hard hour. The grind. Yeah, that kind of surprised me. Slowest hour since the start. Okay, I'm not my freshest, but
some horrible patch and I didn't want to tell anyone because I don't want to be
just now on the bike.
No, like I went through a horrible bit where I was just puking and I was getting like a fever because like Laura was saying, like your body's just not used to like working out every freaking hour.
That section then.
That's just amazing, the difference an hour can make. Anyone who's ridden ultra endurance before will know what that is like. You can just be in the pits and the only thing that's certain is change. If you're feeling great, you'll feel terrible. If you're feeling terrible, the assumption, if you're a complete novice at this game, is that if you start to feel bad, the only way is to get worse. But actually the amazing thing about endurance is your body's just got an amazing way of bouncing back. I mean, it's fueling, it's hydration, it's mindset, small changes, cheeky teammates. But it's amazing. Like, I was just in such a dark place when I got off the bike, and I'm sure I'll be in the dark place again in a few hours, but I mean, right now, it's all good.
As we settled in for a second night, John Groats was nearly in our sights, and the mood in the team was high.
I reckon it's less than 100 miles to go, so I reckon it's 5 shifts. 5 shifts from here. So I've just done one from Inverness. So basically, yeah, I reckon I've got 2 more. Hank's got 3. If it works out, then Hank will have the final shift, which is fair because I got the first one. Just nuts. I thought best case scenario would be riding in there tomorrow lunchtime. It's 11:15 at night. We're going to be there in the middle of the night.
I'm more than ready to get to John O'Groats. That's what I'm thinking right now. It's just gone midnight, and according to the plan, we still have 12 hours riding to go. But I don't know how, with our lack of experience doing time trial efforts like this, but we've just had the perfect conditions. But quite a sting in the tail this last section. It's quite lumpy. And yeah, I'm sure I'll look back very fondly, but right now I want to get off my bike. Well, just past the sign for 50 miles to go. Cannot believe it. We left Land's End at midday yesterday. Absolutely nuts.
2 more hours of pedaling. So it's all looking good. I reckon we're going to do Land's End to John O'Groats with just 2 people in under 43 hours, which is quite something.
My final stint. Oh, this is my least favourite part. It's freezing.
A lot of money you get on the drops, otherwise I puke. I don't feel too well, mate.
Has to be said, I was really starting to feel it. The position on the bike was making it almost impossible to digest food, leaving me depleted and with really painful acid reflux. The team were getting really worried, but the finish line was getting closer.
Can't say I'm in the best shape to actually enjoy it, but it's been a hell of a long journey. And to think we've done it in potentially under 40 hours, it's quite something. I can currently see the sea, which is a nice sight. And I think I'm not far away now. What a journey. Well done, guys. Top effort. That was Sunday. Oh. Nice work, team. Couldn't have done it without you. Oh. What a ride.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, give me a hug, dude. Oh, what a ride.
Well done. Proud of you, mate.
Tough effort, buddy.
Proud of you. Hang on, time check. 3:46.
Oh.
You alright?
Yeah. Got some bad acid reflux thing going on.
Oh. Man.
Oh, what a ride.
1,348 kilometres, the entire length of Britain, in 39 hours and 40 minutes, averaging 34 kilometres an hour. Job done.
There you have it, Land's End, John Groats in 39 hours and 46 minutes. I was going to say as a two-man relay, but what a team effort, amazing.
It's been a hell of a journey, I've got to say, starting from Land's End and riding the whole way up to the top of the UK. It's been pretty emotional, couldn't have done it without the team, and thank you so much to Argon 18 for supplying us with these epic bikes that have got us the length of the country.
This video is not about me. It's not about the challenge. It's about the power of sport. It's about bringing people together for a bigger purpose, for a greater goal. Doddy Weir is one of rugby's most recognisable personalities, and after being diagnosed with MND in 2017, he was driven to help fellow sufferers and fund research into this incurable disease. His vision was a simple one. He wanted a world free of MND. Unfortunately, Doddy is no longer with us, but we continue to keep his dream alive. 550 miles in 48 hours, including all stops. This is no mean feat. We had to earn our sleep, earn our breaks, because there was definitely no delay for the start of the match.
3, 2, 1.
Ultimately, we're a bunch of amateurs riding in the middle of winter. This is an extraordinary challenge taken on by ordinary people.
Mark and I are back, but this time we're doing a challenge with a purpose, aren't we, Mark?
We are indeed. It is early doors at the Principality Stadium. For those not on British soil, this is Cardiff, Wales, the capital, and we're going to Edinburgh.
Yeah, and this time I'm not actually wearing GCN kit. No, I've actually gone and got myself some Doddy AIDS tartan. What do you think?
It's, well, I don't know. I'm sure GCN viewers are going to have a strong opinion on this lycra. I mean, it's divisive, but I have to say, it really sort of strikes quite an image when you've got a peloton of what's going to be 200 riders going through the British countryside dressed like this.
Yeah, and it's not just us starting at Principality. We're heading 555 miles towards Edinburgh to Murrayfield, which is kind of the home of Scotland rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So 5 years ago, Rob Wainwright, that guy, approached me and said, look, shall we do something for his great late friend Doddy Weir to raise money for research and to look after those who are suffering with motor neuron disease. And he said, why don't we carry the match ball for the big rugby match between Scotland and England between the stadiums, between Edinburgh and London. And I said, great, what could possibly go wrong? Middle of February, 500 miles in 2 days, sounds great. And we did that. There was 4 or 5 riders, and now look at it. There's 200 riders here today, and we got Hank involved, which is pretty exciting.
Here's to what's going to be an epic ride. I'm looking forward to it.
And just like that, we are underway. A sea of bright yellow and blue tartans spread across the Welsh countryside. I was excited, nervous, and determined. This is a challenge that means more to me than any other. I have a personal connection to this horrific disease, and I am determined to do my bit.
Well, we finally escaped Cardiff. It was a bit of a rammy, but rather than having angry toots of horns with this peloton, it was actually lots of encouragement, lots of people sort of waving and peeping away, and it shows that the message has got out. And this peloton that's now snaking its way up through Wales and England and Scotland has really captured the hearts and minds of so many people. The firefighters were out there clapping us past, with school kids coming out. Early days, but it's a great feel in the peloton so far. said from bike riders teaming up with rugby players is that they cut a good shape. A peloton of rugby riders, it really is a scrum. And little Hank Meister here, look at him.
I'm the smallest of the lot, what's going on?
Tucked in behind some of these prop forwards. I saw you this morning riding with Mr. Rob Wainwright, ex-Scotland rugby captain, British Lion. What's it like teaming up with these rugby guys? We've got a big engine.
I feel like we got proper, the brotherhood. I feel like, you know, I feel like in the trenches with some pretty big burly men, which is no bad thing. I feel safe actually, it's good. Why are we at a rugby pitch, I hear you ask, on an epic journey from Cardiff to Edinburgh? And it all stems from this jersey here and the tartan livery. It's all for Doddy, who was a massive rugby player, ended up getting MND, motor neuron disease, and raised insane amount of money. There isn't a cure for MND, and there needs to be, so we're raising as much funds as humanly possible. So I'm not wearing my usual Castelli kit. I've been given one of the charity jerseys, and Doddy was pretty loud character. He unfortunately passed away last year, so it's all in aid for him really, and rugby was a big passion of his, hence why we're riding the Six Nations ball from Cardiff to Edinburgh, and we're all wearing this very bright kit, which is actually quite nice because at the moment it's not a challenge that me or my mark are doing, and we're not making, you know, it's not about us, it's about a much bigger picture. And so many people on this ride have got incredible stories of why they're doing such an epic challenge. But for me, it's important to you know, do my bit, and I hope I can do that by raising some funds. Anyway, from rugby pitch, the sun is going down, and then we are through into the night shift, which is going to be pretty long, I reckon. Anyway, back to the riding.
The reception we got wherever we went was unbelievable, and it really kept all of our spirits nice and high.
And just like that, we're in the night shift. The sun's gone down, mood is still good in the camp, and yeah, it's quite nice going back into night riding. Russ still here, the temperature's dropped, but we're still going. Big Martin Johnson leading us up the KOM. Quick update, Mr. Wainwright, where are we? How have you got on? 155 miles in?
Yeah, possibly a touch more. We're at Newtown Rugby Club, it's dinner time.
Yeah.
And
it's got cold, isn't it?
It's pretty chilly. It's, what is it?
We've done 10 hours, 30 minutes.
10 hours, 30 minutes, so, you know, we're getting good.
We're tapping away, aren't we?
We've only got 400 miles left. The spirits are really high. We've managed our nutrition. We've kept together. We worked as teams, and
now we need some grub.
And
nice hot food.
Fuel up. Let's fuel up.
Let's go. See you on the road.
As the night drew in and the temperature plummeted, the 30 miles to our next stop for the night was a real struggle.
So that's end of day one. Good old Martin Johnson sticking it in the big ring up the top there. It is cold. Now it's time for a quick kip and then back on the road in the morning. 180 miles done. Yeah. Not warm. And good morning. 5 a.m. 180 miles in. Long way to go. Everyone's ready. Lights are on. Ball's ready.
Watch your back.
Right, about time we get going. 200 miles plus planned today. So, another long day in the saddle. Yeah, let's go. Moon still shining bright.
After an early start, breakfast was planned for us about 40 miles down the road at Wrexham Football Club. Some fast roads, a cold start, but ticking down the miles before sunrise.
The sun brings a new day and 2 centuries ahead before the next proper stop. What more do you want? Let's go. It's good to have Mr. Sir Chris Hoy joining the core group. Well done, team, led by team captain. Good old Russ put in the front. But we seem to be stopped at a train station anyway.
Hopefully it will take a while.
Still going strong though. Still loads of miles to go. We're slightly behind time, a couple of hours behind time, so it looks like we might be missing a sleep or two. I'm just hoping we're not going to have to ride non-stop for the next 300 and something miles. Anyway, just keep pedaling.
So, quite a way through now. It's 4:30 on our second day. Hit Tollington, and Ollie told me to get chips and gravy. So apparently it's a Yorkshire thing. Anyway, chips and gravy. Well, just what the doctor ordered. Another rugby field and plenty of rain. Perfect.
Here we are, into the night shift. Still rocking it. Into the Yorkshire hills.
How are you finding the hills and dales?
Gotta love them, especially in the night. Tailwind, quiet. Could be worse.
Last day, we got to get the ball to the match, and it's 12 o'clock, and we're basically riding through. Come on, team, let's go. More cycling to come, as if 370 miles wasn't enough. Let's go. Big stint done. Just arrived. How you feeling, Rob? Big stint done there.
Yeah, brilliant. That was really good. We were actually flying along the A1, and here we are at Alnwick. And
still a fair way to go, just under 100 miles, is it?
Yeah, we've got 91. Brain is now beginning to cease to function.
Right, let's get some food.
So we'll get some food. We'll get a big welcome from the fine folk at Alnwick who are up in the middle of the night looking after us. There are people as crazy as we are. That is very reassuring.
I can hear some bagpipes as well.
Bagpipes, oh God.
$450 miles in and just under 100 miles to go. So I feel like we're on the home stretch. We're into Scotland, been welcomed with some bagpipes. What more do you want? We're not in Scotland yet, are we? We're not in Scotland yet. We're not in Scotland yet. Yeah, we're under 100 miles though to go. And team's been cracking on nicely. We picked up the pace through Newcastle and making our way up north. Edinburgh's in sight, but we've still got a fair way to go, and we've got some tired legs among us, and little to no sleep for a few. So, doing well, but the game is nearly there, and we've got the match balls, so we need to make it. And I've got some gruel to keep me going. Perfect.
So it's the morning and 70 miles from Edinburgh. The sun is coming up, beautiful sunrise. Managed to capture still loads of support as we get closer to Scotland. But there's nothing better than having a good sunrise. And then it rejuvenates you, even though you're tired, you still feel like you've got that extra push. All good, and support from everywhere. It's been incredible. Oh, I love it. So good to have this guy back.
What a hero. How are you feeling? What, 400 miles in? 400 miles plus? Still smiling. Still smiling.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I think we got some tired legs there, but everyone's doing bloody good, so can't complain. And there is the border. We are in Dunbar, and what a welcome. So all the kids have come out to see the ball, see Rob, support what we're doing here, and the game is yet to commence this afternoon, so I think everyone's getting pretty excited about this big Scotland-Wales game, but the ball is getting a lot of attention, so it's just so good to see everyone out and support it. I mean, what more do you want? But I'm knackered, shattered.
As we rolled into Edinburgh, the end was in sight. All of the pain seemed to leave our legs and the atmosphere took over. It took me back to Tour of Britain or riding Tour de Yorkshire. The crowds lined the streets.
What a ride! What a ride! Wow, here we are! Murrayfield Stadium.
Wow, what a ride. Everyone participating in this ride and the wider circle managed to raise an insane £700,000. Now that is the power of sport.
There you go, we made it to Scotland, to Murrayfield, the home of rugby here in Scotland. We've delivered the ball, the match ball for the Scottish-Wales game. The mission is complete. All for Doddy Weir and the M&D Foundations. Amazing. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. And if not, just for the amazing sport everyone's done for this incredible charity. And not much else saying, sometimes I get a bit emotional, so I'm going to see you guys later, and I can't wait to get in there and soak up all the atmosphere. Love you all.